you are. Devil in the
Hello, Rare Elvis Photos on Facebook and YouTube. This is a continuation of the story on Priscilla Presley and Curry Grant and all of the interviews that were done for the book called Child Bride about Priscilla Presley and who she was before she met Elvis, which was a pretty young age, obviously, at 14, and who she was all the way through high school. And of course, the persona and the story that she is stuck to, which was that she was untouched on her wedding night, that she was a virgin, which, you know, by what definition? Of course, you got the whole Bill Clinton thing. I never had sexual relations with that woman, when he had relations with that woman, and maybe it wasn't full-on relations, but it was still. So we obviously know that Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley did stuff before their wedding. They did stuff when she was 14, according to Elvis's inner circle, and really according to Priscilla herself in her book. She did say that they didn't complete the act, which, you know, it doesn't. That's, I mean, we're talking apples to oranges, really, or not even apples. It's really apples to apples. It's a golden apple to a red apple. But you know, this series is more about. It's less about Elvis and Priscilla when it comes to that than it is about Priscilla and the insinuation from Curry Grant, who was basically the guy that took Priscilla Presley from her house, picked her up from her parents, and took her an hour away over to Bad Nauheim from Bishop. I can't remember. I can't pronounce these names, and I do a lot of these voiceovers when I'm driving, so I apologize. That being said, he picked her up, drove her an hour there, and drove her back about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever she went over to meet Elvis, which was 3 to 4 days a week, it seems like. So getting back into the story, Curry Grant, Currie Grant. Somebody else said Cary Grant. I saw it on Facebook. Nope, not the actor. Curry Grant has said that Priscilla Presley, in order to meet Elvis Presley, gave herself up to Curry Grant. Now, what we don't know is whether that was truly her virginity that was lost, her innocence, or what her friends from prior to that, when she was 12 and 13, used to say she would disappear in cars with guys for hours, and that she smoked and she drank back in Texas, and that these were the bad guys that did things with girls. So, once again, it's not a judgment thing on, you know, whether that was right or wrong, or, you know, SLUT shaming. What it is just trying to get the story straight, and, you know, it's a fairy tale, and we know fairy tales are usually made up stories. And it's just, I mean, once again, what's the value in a lie like that? The value would be obviously to Priscilla to protect her reputation, which, you know what, I mean, I get that. But I also get the truth. And if the truth is out there and you continue to lie, if that's the scenario, if that's the case, if that's the truth, that does you no good. And of course, she's a Scientologist, and, you know, I don't know, there's probably a whole different set of rules for that. But anyhow, so to continue the story, I've been kind of taking some excerpts from the book and reading them to you. In 1996, the author sat Priscilla Presley and Curry Grant down for a taped interview, and she taped their exchanges. And Curry stuck to his story, and Priscilla stuck to her story. Now, Curry's story obviously was that they had intercourse several times in exchange to meet Elvis Presley. And once Priscilla met Elvis Presley, they started doing things, including intercourse as well. And that the time that Priscilla told that to Curry in the car on the way home, he got excited, wanted to do it again with her, and then of course she said no. And Priscilla claims that Curry had tried to RAPE her, and Curry said no. I took her home after that. I could see she wasn't into me. I was irritated, but I took her home. And then Priscilla said in this interview that a second time he picked her up, or in the book, I'm sorry, that he picked her up and from the parents' house, and under the guise of going to a movie. And supposedly Curry's wife, Carol, was supposed to be with him. She wasn't. But Priscilla still got in the car, still went to the movie, and again, Curry attempted to have relations with her and that was the story that she had in her book. So, anyways, before I get into these excerpts and read them to you from this book, and this is just the first part of the series. This is just about Curry. There was a voice analyzer done, and you saw a hint to that at the beginning of part 3. That basically said that for 900 different police departments use this test, which is a voice analyzer stress test, and that it's much, much more accurate than a lie detector test. And in that testing, as you'll see the results, Curry passed with flying colors. Priscilla failed everywhere, except for one. I think for the one thing that she said was truthful. So, if you can deduce the fact that she's lying about this, what else is she lying about? She would probably be lying about everything, because once again, she wants to have her story. And her fans, the fans that defend Priscilla Presley, that's why they defend her. Because she's sweet and she's innocent, and she was sweet and she kept herself, and she sacrificed herself for 21 years or 7 years or whatever like that after meeting Elvis. And if that story's not true, and if it's all a made-up farce, why would you defend Priscilla anymore? So anyways, let's get into some of these excerpts here. And I hope you're enjoying these pictures of Priscilla Presley back when she was young. A lot of these were taken by Curry Grant, 1961, a year after Elvis left Germany, and a year after Priscilla said Elvis cut him out of the inner circle and was mad and wanted to kill him. Here are the results of that test that I talked about. Gunther found that Curry to be telling the truth when he said that Priscilla approached him in the snack bar and asked for an introduction to Elvis. Why is that important? Well, because it shows that she was the pursuer in this thing, and that it wasn't that it was an accident, this farce, and that she was asked to meet Elvis. She had been pursuing Elvis for a long time in her mind. Also, that he never told Priscilla that he knew Elvis. Also, he was found to be telling the truth that he suggested he meet her parents first. That it was Priscilla's idea that they used the ruse of going to the movies to be alone. He was found to be telling the truth that he and Priscilla did meet in the hills and make out on 4 different occasions prior to her meeting Elvis. That he and Priscilla did have intercourse their last time in the hills before he took her to meet Elvis. Now, these are important. These are well-established tests, and he passed with flying colors. That he did not attempt to RAPE Priscilla. That he did pick her up at her house on Elvis's last day in Germany, and that there were pictures taken of Elvis and Priscilla and him outside the car. She denied this vehemently, that he was ever there, after she supposedly told Elvis that Curry had tried to RAPE her there. And that's very, very important, because that shows that she had a motive. She had a motive for trying to erase this part of her history, because, it did not jive with her story. And of course, this is the guy that she had intercourse with, according to these stress analyzer tests, and according to Curry Grant's testimony, and according to the same guy that Priscilla paid money to hush, and for this story to go away. Why else would she be denying everything, including Curry being around? It just did not match up with her story in any sense of matching up. And the fact that Curry continued to take pictures of her in 1961 for Elvis, that's a year after all of this stuff happened, a year and a half maybe. It was April of 61. Now, a little background on the computerized voice stress test. It's considered more accurate than a polygraph in determining whether a person is telling the truth, 92% of the time, as opposed to 75% in a polygraph, and is used in 900 police departments in the United States alone. After conducting a voice analysis of Curry and Priscilla, Gunther concluded that the two definitely had intercourse in the hills. Furthermore, Curry's 100% truthfulness in the test and Priscilla's deceptiveness were so conclusive that Gunther stated that he would testify to the results in court. That's very important. Beyond the objective analysis that was provided by the PSC that Curry was telling the truth and Priscilla was lying about their history, the pictorial evidence that Curry picked up Priscilla at her parents' home to say goodbye to Elvis the day that he left Germany demonstrated unequivocally that Elvis did not banish Curry, nor did the Bulows, or whatever their name is, nor did Priscilla. In fact, Elvis specifically requested that Curry be Priscilla's driver on that last day of Germany. This would be a bizarre request if Priscilla had really told Elvis that Curry tried to RAPE her. Common sense here, folks. Common sense. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening into this one. Go watch parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 5 is going to be coming out tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, share these on your Facebook. This is not my story. This is the story of Child Bride. This is the story of Curry Grant. And this is written by an award-winning author. And it's not just that. This is just the first 5, 6, 7 parts of the series that focus on Curry. There is more information in this book that really sheds light upon Priscilla Presley, who she was before, who she was after. And I think it's a must read or listen. I'll let you know all about the book for any Elvis fan and really any Priscilla fan who wants to continue to defend her, to have the real truth on it. If you want to still defend Priscilla, that's fine by me. It's just a free country, and I appreciate everybody's opinions. I for the most part, always felt like Priscilla was victimized in this. And of course, she was victimized by Curry here as well. Even if she was the pursuer and she did this on purpose to meet Elvis, this guy shouldn't have done that, if you think about it, I mean, yeah, we all have our physical needs and all that other stuff and animalistic urges and all that stuff, but still, he had the power over her completely. In fact, he held the key to introducing her to Elvis Presley, that she desperately wanted. And if she was willing to give up, and I wouldn't even say it would be her virginity, if she was willing to sleep with Curry in the backseat of a car and to get this, what else was she capable of doing? And once again, where would Elvis Presley have been if he would have been married to somebody that was not deceptive and deceiving and loved him for him and not just his stardom? That's the point I'm trying to make here. Until tomorrow, TCB, TLC, love you guys very much. Even you Priscilla fans, if you're Elvis Presley fans, you've got my respect as well. All right.